reasonable, very high up there, but also the fact that it's just so mentally draining to face off against it.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be mentally draining to play it as well. There's a lot of tough decision making. It's tough to sort of visualize your wins and your win conditions because it's fatigue mage. It's tough to think that many turns ahead, where you're getting into the.
Well, you have some time to think ahead.
You definitely do have some time to think ahead,
Gosh.
but it's a hard deck to play, and sometimes that's satisfying for a lot of players.
Alright, well, this one will be much faster paced. We have Paladin versus Mage. It used to be a joke that Paladin games took forever, but now Paladin games can be pretty quick.
Yeah.
The tempo of the deck can actually accelerate very quickly. And against this deck specifically, I don't know. I always feel very weird about mid-range Mage because I feel like sometimes the draws are just bad. Like, you just draw the wrong side of your curve, and you get really awkward draws, especially if you have secrets.
Yeah.
Like, I know Mad Scientist is supposed to help with that, but a lot of times if you just draw the secrets and you draw, like, the heavier cards, then you just miss the train, and then all of a sudden you get run over. All of your plays are pretty awkward.
Yeah.
But I guess that's partially why Freeze Mage is so good, because even if you draw those secrets and those really expensive stuff, you still have so many draw in your deck that you're making it really consistent.
Yeah. This deck, though, is sort of similar and reminds me of the deck that Strifeco ran when he made his run through. Was it DreamHack?
I will fight with honor.
And so it does have the potential to win a lot of games.
Well, Strifeco actually made, I guess, the first iteration of Fatigue Mage in a way. Its main condition was just to wait it out and, like, just beat you through sheer determination and will.
Just not even drain your deck, but drain you.
Yeah. Alright, Mad Scientist, pretty good.
Yeah, this is a decent start for him.
Yeah, this is, like, Shielded Minibot technically gets a 2-for-1. Or I guess a 1-for-1. I guess it takes out the draw, but at the same time it survives. So it's a very efficient minion.
Yeah. Water Elemental can actually be a pretty problematic card for Paladins to be able to deal with.
That's amusing. So Mirror Entity got pulled, and then he drew the second one.
That's rough.
It's okay. Not the worst outcome, but definitely not ideal. Water Elemental, that is definitely a problem, though.
And this Paladin from Savjz was was slower, right? This is the more greedy style of Paladin. I think that might have a little bit better of a time against this type of mage. It's hard to gauge, but
well, let's see. Gaara has another Water Elemental, and he can start picking up some good trades here, getting some free kills, and remember that Mad Scientist ended up paying for itself, so in a way, that Shieldbot did not go 2-for-1. You also don't freeze a minion through Divine Shield, right? So that Shielded Minibot will be okay.
no, because it's any minion damaged by this creature, or anything damaged by this creature's frozen. Right. So Divine Shield does not damage the creature.
Right.
Or the face.
Big Game Hunter played. Doesn't seem like there's much other than Dr. Boom.
No.
And I think Savjz plays too, BGH.
Yeah. So he's a little bit more lenient.
Yeah,
Not
I think
the
he
second
should
one.
be.
Could be a little bit more liberal with those BGs.
What's really annoying about an Aldered Peacekeeper or a neutered version of Water Elemental, it still freezes, so you lose an attack if you trade into it unnecessarily.
Yeah, and it gets Paladin. That's that's super annoying.
Water
Almost as
Elementals
annoying
are,
as Warrior.
yeah, definitely really powerful and annoying.
And also because they have high health total, so even if you have to use them to clear out dudes, they still preserve a lot of their health.
But Gaara's in a pretty good spot. I mean, Sludge Belcher allows you to also trade so effectively on the board. Kill the Peacekeeper. really Savjz do?
And if he can't deal with the Sledge Belcher this turn, then he can Echo, but
Mhm.
he will be able to. And Muster for Battle with Quartermaster in hand, he's going to be able to Hero Power this turn, Hero Power next turn, and if it, even just one or two of those dudes survive, which I don't think any of them will survive actually, he could get value out of it.
Yeah, this is definitely a powerful Echo play. I don't think you can ask for much more.
Yeah, you can still deal with the board even if you use Echo. So there's not going to be really many other better opportunities where you can use it and still be able to answer the opponent. So nicely done.
Uh-oh, Savjz is definitely fallen super far behind. Echo Medivh is such a blowout card sometimes, too.
Yeah.
He's wondering if he should freeze the weapon at all to prevent it from getting an easy kill. Use the minion to trade into the 1/1.
It can be Echo Medivh can be fantastic when you're ahead and can be pretty devastating when you're behind.
Oh, well, I think he's going to slightly regret that.
Reporting for duty. To arms, men!
Well, that's about as much Quartermaster value as you can ask for right there. You know,
Well, considering
that's
how
a
well
live.
Mage controlled the board,
Yeah.
Gaara's in a dominant spot now. Still needs to be careful about how much the board can be pressed for its advantage, but once he stabilizes, it's going to be difficult for Savjz to be able to control it until he gets his consecration. He does have 2 equalities.
How much do you think Mind Control is playing into Gaara's plays right now? Mind Control tech.
Oh, it definitely is. Mind Control Tech is such a powerful swing card right now.
And a lot of players are putting it into.
So Gaara is tempting Savjz to give him a duplicate on his owl.
Okay. It's still
That way he
freezing
can
the
silence
face.
Tyrion and a bunch of other stuff in the
Yeah.
deck. Now remember, this deck from Savjz is a super greedy late game paladin deck. He's got double lay on hands and he's got very slow decks in general today.
So he does have a secret active. That was the second mirror entity, I do believe. So he tests for duplicate.
Let me think.
And now he doesn't really have too many great.
Oh, okay, my apologies. I thought he had duplicate up. He played mirror entities.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Reporting for duty.
gets him closer to being able to use Mind Control tech, but it's still having double equality in his hand is just pretty dead. Gaara just has so much card advantage at this point with the good echo that he was able to get off. The water elementals he knows are going to be really tough for him to deal with as the game progresses.
What to do? What to do?
This is another interesting decision from Gaara. He can choose to go a little bit more gung-ho, or he can still play this pretty slow and systematic, play around mind control tech.
Mhm.
I still think you'd rather just wait for Paladin to show their equality. Some people prefer to be more aggressive about it, but I like Azure Drake going for the cards, trade in, play around mind control tech.
Yep.
Seems to be a very comfortable medium. Yep. Don't
Play-
even play this Gold Shire Footman.
That's a very weird looking gold sheriff foot.
It's a Gold Shire Footman that's been dumped by the Nickelodeon goop.
The slime.
Yep.
Such a weird thing for Nickelodeon.
Dr. Boom sounds a lot like me after watching that Kit Kats game.
Actually, that's really true.
Yeah.
You were cackling like a madman.
I had no idea how to contain myself. Physically or emotionally. Or spiritually. I think Sneasel Shredder is my lord and savior.
form a cult.
What to
Don't
do,
speak about
what to do.
my messiah like that, man.
I'm sorry.
Heathen.
I'm very culturally accepting.
I know.
What to do,
You made that abundantly clear.
What added to that was Dan actually looked at me and raised his eyebrows when he said it.
I guess he's not gonna use polymorph on Dr. Boom. He's gonna save it for Tyrion.
Yeah, I think that's a smart choice.
These control matches are starting to get pretty close to ending, though. Or this control match, rather. You know what's so interesting to me? It's like, even if I have no weapon or I'm a class that can't even use weapon, I still hate being frozen. Like, if I'm like a priest, I hate a snow chugger hitting my face, and even though it means absolutely nothing.
Why is that?
I don't know, it's just like,
Did you have a traumatizing experience when you were younger?
yes, I was trapped in the snow when
You
I
were
was young.
Trapped in a giant block of ice. Had to be saved.
That's right. I sexually identify with a glacier.
Wouldn't that mean you'd
Well,
wanna be
actually,
frozen?
Gar is in danger of dying himself. Silencing that Dr. Boom was a pretty clutch play.
I
Equality also heals it, too, if you silence it afterwards.
Mhm.
There's some interesting puzzles where I remember seeing people utilize equality, like your minion would be at 2 health, you equality and heal it back up to like 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
What to do, what to do.
Well,
So Gar getting punished for not polymorphing earlier.
yeah, he's got a handful of cards, and
He can stall for a little bit of time with his slime, actually. His slime plus the hero power is 3 mana and should delay at least 6 damage.
What to do, what to do.
Little does he know there's actually another equality.
okay. So
Oh, he has a big game hunter in the deck too, so. He'd rather polymorph the effect.
oh wow. So draws a second piloted sky golem off the top.
That was
here.
like, Pilot Sky Golem to the rescue! And he just like flew in.
And now he's at 4 health. He does have Antique Healbot. But if he plays Antique Healbot here
Reporting for duty.
and like plays a Sledge Belcher,
Mhm.
then he would be at risk for dying. Even through the Sledge Belcher.
Right, the equality.
Oh yeah, he could equality push through with 1 creature and then.
No, he'll be okay.
What to
He'll be
do.
okay if he plays Antique Healbot and Sludge Belcher.
Oh yeah. Because he would have to use. Well,
Maybe he can squeeze in a better tempo play by Antique Healbot and then using his the Frostbolt, and you can develop something else instead.
then he could
Shade next Ramus.
even like hero power and slime just for a little bit. Eh.
It's tough. It's actually tough. There's so many ways that you can die. I do think Frostbolt is a better time buyer, though. So then what does Savjz need to get lethal? Silence?
Hoo-hoo. Well, I think Leon Hands is pretty clutch.
Right.
Because he's actually getting low himself. He's at 12 health.
Yeah, that's true.
And he needs answers as well. So he puts himself in a little bit better position.
Alright, we've seen enough of you, Kale.
Yeah.
You can sit this one out.
Get out of here.
Reporting for duty.
Sneeds for life.
That polymorph sheep has been there for multiple turns, by the way. Ah, an explosive sheep.
Oh,
It does open him up, but as long as he can keep freezing the face, maybe. Too many variables though. I think he might have to pop
Hmm.
the Sky Golem first to see what happens from it.
Yeah. So if he, in theory, if he explosive sheep threw the slimes into the Dr. Boom and then killed his own explosive sheep and freeze the face and anti-heal bot it,
Well, it depends on what comes out of the
Yeah.
Sky Golem.
I guess so. But there's no real option here because that play, he can't do that play anymore if he throws one of the slimes or pings the Paladin Sky Golem.
Yeah, that's a good point. I still think you need to evaluate.
Yeah.
Alright, the Lost Tall Strider.
That's above average stats for a 4-mana creature.
Yeah. Slightly above average. I think NTKO bot will definitely come out here. Maybe the Shade as well. If he wants to play around man control tech though, he doesn't. So he does. Another heads up play from Gaara, but at the same time, I feel like he's just holding on to the inevitable. Kel'Thuzad coming out here is going to be really devastating.
Yeah, it's just super problematic because now he can't clear the Dr. Boom off efficiently, and if he doesn't... Has he used a second polymorph?
Soldiers of the cold dark.
I don't know if he has a second polymorph in this deck.
Yeah, it's possible that he doesn't, but other than that, he doesn't have a way to deal with it. Big Game Hunter doesn't deal with a Kel'Thuzad.
No.
He can't deal with it, actually.
No, I think he's dead.
Wow. And I just want to point out that this is actually another strength of Mind
Wow.
Control tech.
Oh
Even
my
though it was
goodness.
never played in the game,
The
it
threat of
delayed
it.
the game long enough just by the threat of it for Savjz to be able to take control. And
Wow.
just like that, he's going
Paladin.
to take a 2-0 lead.
Great play
In the
from
series.
Savjz. Both of these players are actually playing at an enormously high level right now.
yes.
Despite the fatigue, I feel like this is one of the more impressive technical plays. Because just look at the way they've played their turns out.
Mhm.
Really impressive. But Savjz the one who's up 2-0 and on the verge of victory to go to the finals against Kit Kats.
Yeah. And the last matchup was Savjz's